Video game sequels could easily make or break a franchise. We've had plenty of kick-ass sequels over the years that take what made the original game great and expand upon it to make it one of the best in the franchise. Some prime examples I can think of: Uncharted 2, Batman Arkham City, the original Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2, Crash Bandicoot 2, Sly 2, Ratchet & Clank 2. So many games have accomplished this. So in this video, I want to talk about what video games deserve a sequel. What games are up there that deserve an expansion of their story. This list is about games that are either not getting a sequel at all or ones that haven't had a sequel announced as of yet. Hi everyone, it's Jim from Nebcam Gaming and this is the top 5 video games that need a sequel. Let's go. Number 5, Ghost of Tsushima. Ghost of Tsushima is absolutely excellent in almost every single aspect, based in ancient Japan and completely set in the island of Tsushima. You play as Jin Sakai trying to liberate the island from the Mongol invaders, but to do so, he has to go back on his samurai code of honor and fight dirty to win, abandoning the samurai code to become the ghost. This game is fantastic, has some of the most beautiful scenery, expansive combat and exploration elements that I've ever seen. Jin is such a compelling character, and after just having one game, he proves to be an iconic video game character. He deserves to be up there with the greats like Kratos. The struggles he faces of having to make a decision of betraying who he is because of what he has to do is so compelling. Along with all of his allies that you meet along the way, Ghost of Tsushima is without doubt still one of my top 5 video games of all time. Now branded a traitor to the samurai code, Jin is forever looking over his shoulder, and a sequel could greatly expand on Jin's story and maybe take the game outside of Tsushima Island and into the heart of ancient Japan. The Shogun army are now after Jin, and only him and his allies against the world. The possibilities are endless. The reason why this game is so low on the list is because I strongly believe that Ghost of Tsushima has the highest chance of receiving a sequel in the near future, whereas the rest of the games on this list, not as much. Number 4, Stray. Stray is one of the most unique video games that I've ever played. I have a whole review of it on the channel if you're interested in watching it after this video. The game where you play as a ginger tabby cat getting lost in a giant city underground inhabited by robots, avoiding ugly creatures like the Zergs and dodging the firepower of the robot sentinel. Stray just has a unique charm to it with a lot of heart to its story. The game definitely leaves the story open for more, as we still have yet to see the cat reunite with his cat buddies that he got separated from at the start of the game. Some may think, well, the Zergs are gone now, aren't they? When the roof of the city opened, it killed them all. But I think an interesting concept would be the plague that caused the Zergs somehow makes its way to the upside world, and now there are new variants of Zergs that can survive in the sunlight, and now the robots are free from the underground city. They, alongside the cat, could have a new threat to deal with. Plus, I want to play as a cat again. Give me more cats and I'll be happy. Number 3, Kena Bridges Spirits. Now, Kena Bridges Spirits is a fantastic game that was completely overlooked when it was released. The devs claimed that a sequel was very unlikely, but Kena could potentially pop up in other games. But the story that this game tells of a spirit guide helping cleanse the forest of corruption and helping corrupted spirits move on from the trauma of their past is so compelling that there is plenty of room for expansive stories within Kena's world. A sequel could introduce a bunch of new cool stuff, more refined controls, more magical abilities, expanded exploration options. There is just a lot you can do with this world, and even the character of Kena herself. There's little that's told about her in the first game. Don't get me wrong, the game gives you just enough to go off of, but there is so much more stuff that the devs could tell about this character. Who is her father? Does she have any other family? There could be a new magical threat that she has to deal with. Please, Emberlab, give us a Kena sequel, and maybe market it a little better this time than you did with the first one. Square Enix's Guardians of the Galaxy. I didn't have a lot of hope for Guardians of the Galaxy when it came out after the disaster that was the Avengers game, but this game surprised the fuck out of me. I think if a sequel were to come out, it could find some way of implicating the other Guardians being playable besides Star-Lord, because in this game, the only playable character is him, and you basically shoot enemies with your blasters and command the other Guardians to either attack or do certain things to help traverse levels. If a sequel were to come out, I'd love to see every Guardian being playable, maybe switching between them during combat, but keeping most of the combat focused on Star-Lord. Not only that, but the story of this game is really good. It rivals the stories that the MCU Guardians of the Galaxies have told so far, and I think because of the MCU version, these characters are so much more loved now than ever, because I personally never heard of the Guardians of the Galaxy before the first film came out anyway. I'd just love it if you could play as Rocket, maybe sneaking through vents or blowing shit up with big ass weapons, destroying shit as Drax, kicking ass as Gamora, doing cool shit as Groot. But if the sequel decides not to go this route, I would love it if they would at least include Mantis, Nikki and Warlock into the gameplay, similar to the first game. But there's endless comics of Guardians of the Galaxy, so come on, there's got to be some other stories out there for this game to tell, right? And finally, at number 1, Days Gone. When Days Gone came out in 2019, it was classed as a flop by the critics, and so a sequel never came, even though the game leads off on a cliffhanger. Which I'm going to show this game some serious love here, because Days Gone is a great game, I don't care what anybody says. You play as a drifter named Deacon St. John, played by Sam Witwer, a few years into a zombie plague, mourning the loss of his late wife Sarah. This game is everything I like in zombies zombie games. It has stealth, fun gunplay, motorcycle traversal, and big fuck-off zombie hordes. The Sawmill zombie horde being in particular one of my favourites, one of my absolute favourite missions in video games overall. No doubt about it. There's hundreds upon hundreds of zombies coming at you all at once, and you have to use the environment to your advantage. Or the easier way, just lead them onto the bridge just outside the Sawmill and take them out bit by bit. I'm going off track slightly. Days Gone critically was one of those games where you just do not understand the hate for it. Deacon St. John is an awesome video game protagonist, and I can only hope that he'll return one day in future. Now the game leaves off on a cliffhanger where O'Brien is sort of infected and he says that nobody is safe. You can't leave us like that, guys. Come on. Days Gone is by far one of the most underrated, underappreciated, underloved games that I have ever played in my life. Days Gone is a great game. Give us a sequel. Give us a more expansive story. Give us more Deacon St. John being a hero. Give us more zombie hordes. Give us more bike customization options. Give us more gun options. Give us a new threat. Give us a Days Gone sequel. And thank you very much, guys, for watching if you made it to the end. If you like what we're doing here at Nebcam Gaming, drop a like and subscribe to the channel. I've been Jim, and I'm out.